You ever go to do something on your car and then find something that's very disturbing? Well, today we're going to go ahead and replace the spark plugs on my 2023 Honda Accord Sport L. And this is the hybrid version with the 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. It has about 99,000 miles. It's about time for me to go ahead and replace the spark plugs. And I found some disturbing things, and I really didn't know how to move forward about it. As you can see, there's rust inside the cylinders. This is a borescope, and then on the number 4 cylinder, there seems to be some wash on the top of the cylinder, which is also very disturbing. So we're going to go ahead and go through the process of replacing these spark plugs. Just in case you didn't know how to do it, it isn't very difficult. Make sure to use OEM parts. Do not go to eBay for the most part unless you know it's a trusted seller. I go to the dealers online. Obviously, if you go to a local dealer, they're going to get you for a lot. Make sure you have your 9/16 spark plug socket, because it is a special socket. I use a 10-inch extension here, and this is actually pretty neat. The 3/8 ratchet that I use has an extending arm on it as well. So here's the other things you'll need as well. You'll need a 10mm. I use a long socket so that you can, or deep well socket, so that you can get in there a lot easier, but I still end up scraping my hands up no matter what I do. First thing you want to do is go ahead and disconnect each of the coils. And, real quick here, I'm actually going to go ahead and get a rag, because you should really just wipe this all off. You don't want any dust on top of the motor if you don't have to have it. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Just a quick wipe off, just to make sure there's nothing loose on there when we go ahead and remove the coils. After that, we're going to go ahead and use a 10mm and put it on our ratchet. I use a power ratchet here, but just make sure that you're not, overdoing it with the ratchets, because you can actually damage bolts and stuff. So this is a relatively low power ratchet. It's not going to do much, but you just got to be careful, because it is a plastic head cover. So we're going to go ahead and remove each of the coils in order, and we're going to keep them in order because they need to go back the way they came out. And you want to just do a quick inspect, make sure there's nothing broken on each of the coils. I would suggest using OEM parts if you find anything damaged. And you can see I've already hurt myself. Probably should wear gloves. Whatever, it's all fine. So now we're going to go ahead and inspect each of the holes to make sure there's no oil penetration going through the side there. And so far, so good. Everything looks good. So now at this point, we can actually start removing plugs. So we'll start here at the number 1 cylinder. We're going to break it loose first and then wind it off. Then we can go ahead and pull it out. Looking at the plug itself, it doesn't look too bad. That's about what you would expect from 100,000 miles. Now at this point, you really want to take your new plug and your old plug and do a very close inspection here. I know I see people use to check the gaps on these. You got to be really careful, because this does have iridium on it, and it's really easy to scrape it off. So be careful. So what I do is I just do a very close inspection, then kind of hold them to each other to check the gaps against each other, just to make sure that they're matching. In this case, they are. And I'll do this with every plug, but I'm not going to show it for every plug. The other thing we're going to do is compare part numbers and make sure that it's exactly the same part number that we're replacing, because you never know. And at this point, I'm like, okay, let's check the bore. So this is number 1 cylinder. Not the greatest video, because it's a video through a video, but we're going to pass this through. At the end, I'll show you what model I use for this. And you'll notice as soon as I see this, I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? That is rust on the top of the cylinder there. This is a 3-way camera, or I think it's 3. It has 3 different angles. So this is right angle heading towards the right side of the cylinder. You can see the top of the combustion chamber. I don't know. It to me looks like this is the beginnings of a gasket failure. I'm not getting any codes or anything like that. I've had a lot of Hondas. I don't think I've ever seen rust like that inside of a cylinder, unless there was a head gasket that was starting to let loose. And you can see some carbon deposit as well. It was kind of built up on the top of the edge of the piston there too, which is kind of odd. But like I said, I know it's kind of sharp light hitting it, so that can be making it look worse than it is. And the side cameras help too, because we're going to look at the valves too and see if there's any buildup. There is some carbon buildup, but it's nothing too bad. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned about what I'm seeing at the top of the combustion chamber. I know that there's alcohol in the fuel. I don't think that's enough to cause what we're seeing here. I do end up taking it over to the dealer and paying them an hour to look at it, and they're swearing there's no issue and that they've seen rust in these cylinders before. I don't know. What do you guys seen? I just see it, and sets off alarm bells. When I see rust inside of a cylinder, or I see what looks like steam washing, I'm guessing, a gasket's letting loose, because when that fluid or antifreeze gets in there, the first thing it does is turn to steam and it ends up cleaning off the top of the piston. So I'm just continuing to look here and just like reiterating what I'm seeing. Like that is rust I'm seeing in the center of the piston there, and it appears to be, and this one's not too washed. It's about pretty normal other than that. So now a little more concerned as I move along here, because now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up this one. You just kind of want to put it tight, and then about an eighth of a turn past that, you'll feel it kind of lock down, and then that'll be it. Then we'll move on to the next one here. I did speed everything up so that, we don't have to sit here and watch this slowly, because you don't want to do that. And the same thing, this looks about the same as the last one. Nothing too crazy, and kind of the same thing inside the piston. Once again, like I said, I'm sorry that the light kind of blows out in there a little bit, but I could trust me when I saw what I saw. Same thing. Not as bad as cylinder 1, but I am still seeing like that buildup, especially against the edges too. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but seeing rust inside of a piston always sets off alarm bells. So getting a nice good look at this, and I do switch angles to kind of get a look at the valves as well too. The valves look great. I think that there's a little bit of buildup, but as far as like and actually it's cool when you double click it, you can actually get two angles at the same time. I'm not sponsored for their equipment either. I actually went out and bought this a while back. I think I got it on TikTok of all places, and it's been a great camera. I've used this for a lot of different things, including my grandson dropping my daughter's keys into the wall, which I know how does that happen, but yes, he actually did that. So, but yeah, the cross hone on the cylinder wall looks good. That looks nice. The way that the top of that combustion chamber looks, I know it's just carbon buildup. I know it's direct injection, but like I said, the rust is what is concerning me. So I'm moving along, doing the same thing. I'm not going to repeat everything that we saw, because it's just a waste of your guys' time. So just showing you that we're tightening up the spark plug, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Just got to be careful when you're pulling that up. That you have long needle nose pliers, or if you really have some time to make sure that you can get that socket out of there as well. Number 3 cylinder is about the same as the other two, just normal wear. This one I feel like is probably the most normal looking, even though I still see kind of that red hue buildup on it, but it's not as bad. And this one, the valve happens to be open too, so you can actually see it. It's like I said, there's some carbon buildup, but for 100,000 miles, that's not bad. I'm not seeing anything where I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have to get this cleaned. This is not bad. This is about what you would expect. So you can see just a little bit of buildup there. That's perfectly normal. You can see the head gasket there on the right side, and then the cross hone on the top of the cylinder. Like I said, this is probably the best of all the cylinders that we've seen so far. So now we'll go ahead and get that one done, and same thing as before, we'll tighten up the plug. You just want to be careful. Don't drop your plugs in there or anything like that. Be careful with everything you're dealing with. And once that's put back in, we'll go ahead and go to number 4 cylinder, and this is where I think the alarm bells really kind of went off for me. You saw at the beginning, it's kind of a little bit of a tease at the beginning here, but this is the one that gave me the most concern. The spark plug itself looks okay. It's not, has a little bit more carbon buildup than the rest of them, especially around the hook. So when I dipped in there, this one is the one that scared me, because you see those swirl marks on the top of the piston, and then we're going to go ahead and get the right angle here, and this one is the one that made me think that there might actually be a leak in that head gasket, because the buildup at the top of the combustion chamber against where the cylinders come together looks much more like a start of a leak. I have noticed that I have had a little bit of drop in gas mileage. Wasn't sure, just a change in gas blends here in California, but it really started to worry me. So I don't know, honestly, I took it to the dealer. They checked it out. They swear up and down they did a pressure test and that there was no issue here. I just don't want this to completely blow out, because especially on the Hondas, when these head gaskets let go, you can have a catastrophic failure. You can crack a piston, you can get hydrolocked. There's a lot of things that can happen depending on how that blows out. But that certainly looked wet to me. And that's where I was concerned, is that right at the head gasket, it looks wet. And that's what should always be concerning. So we'll go ahead and put it back together. At this point, I'm having a bad day. You can see it's kind of starting to get dark outside. And actually used a kind of a awkward fitting camera so you guys can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it, which I think it worked out okay. But it was kind of awkward to hold, keep on me so I could work around it. I was already kind of in a bad mood here. So at this point, I think I'll go ahead and tighten up this last plug, and then we're just going to check coils again, and then we're going to seat them back in there. And like I said, this is the time to like find things and notate things and get things checked. So 100,000 miles shouldn't really have a lot of problems with Honda as long as you're doing the maintenance. I mean, I change my oil every 5,000 miles, and I'm on top of things. I make sure that I don't see anything going wrong. But yeah, I took it to them. They said that there wasn't an issue, so we'll see. I mean, honestly, it's documented. I had to pay for it, which sucks. But if something does happen now, I have it on the books, and I'm actually going to go pick the car up today. I'm going to tell them I want a list of what was done. I want to make sure that they did the pressure check, the pressure test to make sure there was not a leak. So, and I want them to tell me in writing that rust on the cylinder is normal, because I don't know, like I said, I've never seen that. I've seen catastrophic failures and stuff like that, but not on a good running motor. Anyways, we'll go ahead and put the cover back on. The cover, like I said, it's just kind of pops back on there, so no problem there. This last little part is going to be for the endoscope I used, and that'll be about it. I'll follow up if I find anything else. Have a good day.